Right to this, a suggestion via a channel member. Guys, so the name of the video is a British fighter jet intercepts Russian plane. Then this happened. This is coming from the channel Navy Media. Let's go ahead and make sure that we are... All right, let's go ahead and jump into it, guys. Let's see what this takes us.
At exactly 10:50 a.m. on June 13th, 2025,
Okay.
radar screens across Poland lit up like a Christmas tree.
All right, so we're in Poland.
A Russian IL-20M spy plane had crossed the invisible line. Not just skimming the border, this one was inside Polish airspace, 2 full kilometers deep. Within seconds, the red alert hits the NATO Air Command. Scramble orders are issued, engines roar to life. 2 British Typhoon fighter jets stationed under NATO's air policing mission are airborne within minutes. This isn't another patrol, this is a direct response. The IL-20 is flying low and slow over the Baltic Sea, pretending like nothing happened.
Right.
No communication, no response to
But it's a lot of audacity.
radio hails, just steady, silent flight. Let's be clear here. This was not a navigational error. The IL-20 doesn't get lost. It's packed with surveillance gear, radar, signal
exactly
sniffers,
where it is.
and high-resolution cameras. Its job is to gather intelligence. And this time, it chose to dip straight into NATO territory. From Warsaw to Brussels, everyone's watching. Inside the RAF cockpits, adrenaline is running high. They're closing in fast.
Royal Air Force, maybe?
They know the rules. Intercept, identify, and escort,
Out.
but don't provoke.
Right. Okay.
Still, all it takes is one wrong move. And this routine mission becomes international headlines.
Flares?
One British pilot radios in. Visual on target, no response, still inbound. Seconds later, the IL-20 makes a move. Not the one they expected. What happens next turns a simple intercept into something way more complicated. Just days before this incident, on May 27th and again on June 5th, British Typhoons were scrambled for the exact same reason. Russian surveillance planes creeping too close to Polish skies.
Okay, so that definitely sounds like this is not just like audacity based. This is, hey, I own the air, basically, is what I'm getting from this here. Like, guys, we don't really have international airspace. I don't think so, at least, do we? I don't know, probably not. But we definitely do have international waters. But this is not the water. Russia, you are in fact encroaching on someone else's border, and with a spy plane.
But this time it wasn't too close; it was inside.
Right.
The aircraft involved, the IL-20M, isn't your average Russian military plane. NATO calls it Coot A. It's essentially a flying ear, designed to listen, scan, and record everything from troop movements to radar frequencies.
Okay.
And it doesn't just loiter around for fun. It collects data. Valuable data. Where did it come from? Likely Kaliningrad. A small but heavily fortified chunk of Russian territory sandwiched between Poland and Lithuania. Kaliningrad is like Moscow's spy nest on the Baltic, crammed with missiles, radar outposts, and intelligence aircraft. For NATO, especially Poland, this is nothing new. But today's breach was deeper, bolder, and more dangerous.
Don't worry, guys.
The skies over Eastern Europe have been anything but quiet since Russia's invasion of Ukraine in 2022.
If we get the
NATO
Greenland,
boosted patrols,
that'll be ours.
forward-deployed fighter jets, and hardened its radar coverage. This means that every
spying
time
on
a Russian
everybody.
aircraft takes off from Kaliningrad, somebody's watching. And more often than not, somebody is chasing. The question isn't if these flights will happen again, it's when
Yeah.
one of them won't back off. Because this time, the IL-20 kept flying deeper and deeper, ignoring calls. The RAF had no idea if it was armed, bait, or a probe for something bigger. And yet the orders were clear.
It doesn't even matter.
Identify, shadow, escort out. Simple in theory, but theory doesn't always survive contact with Russian airspace violations. At 10:57 a.m., two RAF Typhoons sliced through the Polish sky. They're flying out of Malbork Air Base, just minutes from the Baltic Sea and even fewer from trouble. These jets aren't sightseeing, they're on QRA, Quick Reaction Alert, and right now, that reaction is locked onto a Russian spy plane that's way too far from home. Built off the IL-18 airframe, it's modified for SIGINT and ELINT missions, signal and electronic intelligence.
Yeah, bro, it definitely looks like, from what I'm seeing on the internals here, it definitely looks like this thing was built in 1936.
Its job is to eavesdrop on everything. Communications, radar signatures, air defense signals, you name it. It's not fast, but it's persistent. It can loiter for hours along borders, sucking up data. Its usual tactic? Fly just outside of NATO airspace and pretend it's minding its own business until it suddenly isn't.
But we know what you're doing.
Now, switch views. The Eurofighter Typhoon is the RAF's air superiority fighter. Fast, deadly,
it's
and designed for both speed and precision. Twin engines, top speed Mach 2, capable of climbing to 55,000 feet in minutes. But this mission isn't about showing off, it's about control. These Typhoons are equipped with Pirate infrared search and track systems and the Captor radar, allowing them to lock onto targets without even turning on their own radar. If they choose, it's stealthy, smart, and fast. But here's the catch. They're not here to fire. Under NATO's air policing rules, engagement is the absolute last resort.
Okay.
So the intercept works like this. Radar first picks up the intruder.
Right, go see him.
Ground command issues a scramble order. Fighters take off and intercept visually. They confirm identity, monitor behavior, and escort if needed. It's a chess game at 20,000 feet. And every player knows their pieces. The IL-20 might look outdated, but it plays a dangerous game. Testing response times, probing radar strength, collecting NATO patterns. Think of it as Moscow's flying thermometer, taking NATO's temperature one mission at a time.
Yeah, because that's basically what happened here. Like, unfortunately, like, listen, if Russia fully knows that the planes that are going to come out and basically meet them, they're just going to, for the most part, posture, right? Like, hey, listen, you see our big, weaponry that we have here? Okay, you see it, but we're not going to do anything. Don't worry. You're not really preventing anything. Like, this does not feel like prevention. It just feels like I'm posturing. Okay, guys, we definitely need to do something about this here. All right, immediately. Obviously not start like WWE3, but hey, listen, guys, you can't just keep taking advantage of a system that we have basically built. It seems like the West system that's basically been created for like Western people, right, are being absolutely, I don't know, but blown through, ignored by anyone else that has not basically come from the West. Okay, so we obviously have a problem. They are basically giving us the middle finger in our face. That's basically what I see this year. Right, like if you say that you're sending out jets to go intercept, right, but you're not telling them to, turn around, leave. Why are you here? If you maintain course, we're gonna have to do something about it. Then I don't know, bro. What are you here for? You're just posturing.
What's the RAF's job here? Well, it's to keep calm, fly smart, and send a message.
Okay.
We see you. Don't push it. It's not glamorous. It's not Top Gun. It's real-world military pressure balancing on the edge of a no-fly incident. And it happens more often than most people realize. This time, the gear worked, the pilots performed, and the rules held firm. But what happens when that IL-20 doesn't turn around?
Okay.
When it's not an old surveillance plane, but something faster or armed?
No, that's more
where
dangerous.
This calm, cold chess match could become something else entirely. For nearly 10 minutes, the IL-20 held its course. Still no response. Still inside Polish airspace.
No response.
Soaking up everything it could. Radar signals, radar sweeps, even the flight patterns of the intercepting Typhoons. And then, it turned. No warning, no contact, just a wide controlled bank northward, right back towards international airspace.
Okay, there is
It wasn't
international
panic.
airspace.
It wasn't sloppy.
Wait, is the international airspace above the international water? If so, then I think that makes sense.
It was timed.
Actually,
Exactly 2 kilometers in. Exactly when NATO's reaction was fully deployed. Almost like someone in Kaliningrad was watching the whole thing in real time,
interesting,
checking
right?
a box. Yes, NATO's response time is 6 minutes. But this twist doesn't end there.
Okay.
As the IL-20 exits Polish airspace, it doesn't head straight home. Instead, it begins a slow loop just outside NATO territory,
Oh, to show
hovering
off.
near the edge.
Right.
Legally, it's now in international airspace.
Okay.
Tactically, it's still in Poland's face. The RAF jets stay with it, though, now shadowing rather than intercepting. There's no radio chatter, there's no sudden moves, just quiet pressure at high altitude. Back at NATO Air Command, analysts are already logging every second of this encounter.
This is outrageous.
The IL-20's route, how long it stayed, how close it came to key radar station. To the untrained eye, this was just a brief border incident that ended peacefully. But to military eyes, this was a calibrated test. It was a move much bigger in strategy. Because here's the thing, these Russian flybys don't happen alone. They're often paired with cyber probing, satellite adjustments, or naval activity. It's coordinated, layered pressure. Today's twist wasn't just the incursion, it was the restraint, the quiet withdrawal.
Open disrespect.
Because when you test an enemy, sometimes the most valuable intel comes from not what they say, but how fast they move, how close they get, and how long they hold the line. This time, the IL-20 turned back on its own. Next time, that turn might come a little later, or not at all. What happened over Poland wasn't an isolated event, it's part of a pattern, and it's one that's been tightening since 2022. Russian aircraft from Kaliningrad, like the IL-20, frequently fly along the edges of NATO airspace. Sometimes they cut it pretty close, sometimes they cross the line, but it's never random. These flights are strategic. They're probes. Every one tests NATO's response time, the air defense coverage, radio protocol, and even pilot behavior. It's like shaking the fence to see where it rattles and how fast the guard dogs bark. This tactic isn't new, but it is escalating. Since the full-scale invasion of Ukraine, NATO has increased its eastern presence dramatically.
Right, mandatory.
F-35s in Romania, Patriots in Slovakia, Typhoons in Poland. The message is clear, we're watching. And Russia? Well, they're watching back. Every time an IL-20 flies too close, it's building a library of NATO's playbook. Which radar comes online first? How fast do the fighters scramble? Do they engage or do they just follow? It's a psychological operation with wings. And the risk? Miscalculation. All it takes is one pilot misreading a maneuver, an overzealous radar operator, one misinterpreted turn. That's when what starts as a routine intercept becomes an international emergency. Even Poland's military said it plainly. This was a provocative action designed to test NATO's readiness. And they're right. This wasn't an accident. It was a signal.
Right.
But
Done on
NATO
purpose.
doesn't just sit back. These intercepts send messages in return. We're ready, we'll meet you at the line, and we won't blink first.
They don't care about that message, bro. They're going to do it again.
Behind the scenes, these missions feed directly into NATO's defense planning. Every intercepted aircraft gets analyzed, every route gets logged, every deviation gets studied. It's not glamorous, but it's critical. Because the real battle right now isn't missiles, it's data. Information about how the other side reacts, defends, and maneuvers. It's a silent war in the skies, fought with sensors and
It's
patience.
not very silent, guys.
Today, the IL-20 left quietly, but the game isn't over. It's just getting smarter. When the IL-20 finally turned back, the RAF Typhoons peeled off after confirming it had cleared Polish airspace. Mission complete on paper.
Right.
But the real work starts now. NATO's Allied Air Command immediately begins its post-incident analysis. Every radar lock, every second of radio silence, every flight pattern reviewed. Poland shares its tracking data. The RAF submits cockpit logs. The Baltic states request briefings. And in Brussels, the NATO Security Council doesn't just file it away, they adjust their protocols. Because, as we now know, this wasn't just another intercept, it was a test. The Polish military knows it, and in a follow-up statement, they emphasize that readiness and coordination worked as intended, but warned that continued provocations require continued vigilance. Translation: the IL-20 might be back, or something faster, or something more aggressive. As for the RAF pilots, well, they're grounded and debriefed. Standard protocol after any intercept.
I can imagine.
Then it's back to standby. Another scramble could come tomorrow or tonight. And the bigger picture here, well, it's NATO reinforcing its eastern flank yet again. More drones, more radar coverage, and more joint training missions, especially with Poland and the Baltic states. Because the IL-20 didn't just violate airspace. It reminded everyone that there are no quiet skies anymore. Not over Poland, not over the Baltics, and not with Kaliningrad sitting next door like a loaded gun. This time, no shots were fired.
Very well said.
But that's not guaranteed next time. And in a world full of armed aircraft and silent radios, next time is the scariest phrase of all. So what do we take from all of this? A slow-moving Russian spy plane slipped 2 kilometers into NATO airspace and left without a fight. But it left with something even more valuable, a glimpse at how NATO responds.
Right.
It wasn't an accident, it was a message. And the response, calm, controlled, precise. But how many more of these tests can NATO handle before someone crosses the line they can't step back from?
They're going to handle a lot more,
Do you think these Russian flights are just intelligence gathering? Or are they pushing for something more dangerous?
They're not pushing for something more dangerous.
If you want to go...
Yeah, guys, hold on. Like, is this mainly intelligence? Yes, in fact. I think the most... how about this here? No. The majority of what was said kind of throughout the video itself, I think is true. They're testing response times. Well, I guess that kind of falls under intelligence also. But the fact that it's a spy plane, it's like one of these gigantic ears in the sky, right? If it's one of these things, and they're taking a little bit more than just intelligence. Let's just say this here. But here's the thing. I'm not really sure what NATO is going to do about this here. Is this going to be the last time this happens? No. Right? Like, think about this here. How do you think Russia would respond if we, specifically meaning the Western countries at least, were to send our planes into their country? You think they're just going to shadow us? Guys, are they going to shadow us? Are they going to follow us around? Like, listen, I'm fully aware of the moral superiority that we kind of attempt to live within, right? But when you're dealing with people who kind of only care about the stick, right, not the carrot, right? If you get that analogy here, you're gonna have to, deal accordingly. You knew exactly who they were. They knew exactly our Western doctrine, let's just say this year, and they completely exploited it while taking basically what they needed from us. Guys, this is wild. All right. It seems like a lot of the videos you guys send me, it just ends up like being posturing. All of this is just posturing. But it does definitely give me better insight into knowing exactly how kind of other countries are doing things, right? All types of countries are just, everyone is posturing. No one wants to actually do anything, but yet you're fine with certain places doing absolute, like, reprehensible things. If you know that this plane, a spy plane, a literal spy, has a name. All right. A spy plane has now officially encroached within another country's border, and it's an adversarial country, specifically to NATO states. What do you think? Like, they're doing that because they know that we're soft, right? You get what I'm saying here, guys? Hopefully you understand what I mean here. Like, they're only doing it because they know, they're like, yeah, they're not going to do anything. Don't worry. They'll just follow us for a little bit. They're going to try to contact us. Don't worry. They're not going to fire first. So it's fine. We're going to send a plane with no weaponry. So they know that we can't fire back. And when they message us or attempt to contact us, we're just going to go ahead and ignore them. Who cares what they want? Blah. That's what happened here. Right? Or did I read this wrong? Okay. They completely took advantage of our softness here. But either way, listen, guys, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. The name of the channel the video came from is Navy Media. And in the meantime, if you guys are new here, please like and subscribe. Guys, understand I stream live on Twitch every day. Come hang out with me. But either way, I'll catch you guys later. Guys, do you want to watch movies with me? I never actually thought to like promote it over here, guys. But if you guys do want to watch it, guys, we have hundreds of movies. And I mean hundreds of movies that we've reacted to. You guys can come watch them with me if you want to, along with many TV shows. Currently we're working on the show Dexter, along with Vikings, and we have a lot of series that are already completed. But if you guys do want to watch it with me, the link is in the description. Everything's available at the second tier. But of course, if that's not your thing, guys, don't worry, right? Listen, like and subscribe.